Faith in our democracy. Faith. It's been there the whole time. Current year theology. A few years ago, I had a breakthrough in my observations about politics. The main part of this breakthrough was seeing it as a theology. For some people, their politics is a complete theology. And this isn't entirely alien, as theocracies used to exist. They used to be one and the same. And this isn't entirely alien. You still see this in some places. But just in recent history, kings and queens used to have the divine right of the gods. In the 1940s in Japan, they actually believed the Emperor Hirohito was actually a god on earth. This is something that has been intertwined with the political system. Then you have some of the places like the predominantly Muslim countries that actually have Muslim law. It's actually part of the governing bodies. Even in supposed secular countries, how many presidents do you think could actually win? How many people could actually run for the top office and win that position as an open atheist? I think you'll find a minority of countries have that actually happening in them. Then a place here like Kenya, you have a situation where there's still a connection to the traditional forms of religion and faith and belief systems and the more contemporary ones. So you'll have the Anglican Church, the Catholic Church, and these other Christian denominations. They'll normally be referred to or discussed by the politicians as the politician is running for president. They'll have prayer meetings, national days of prayer. That'll be a regular thing. But they also have the Elders Council, which goes more with the whole animism, the whole forms of faith that people had in the traditional sense. So be it from just the outright, like God has picked me, or just going to say, oh, this is someone who's been selected to do God's work, that you'll find in some supporters of someone like Donald J. Trump. That is a common thing. That is a regular thing. People talking about it's a Judeo-Christian country. If it's a Judeo-Christian country that's under some protection of some God that has somehow given that place some sort of permission or mission to actually be the vessel for the actual God's work. But with a thought here, I've seen it more specifically with Democrats who have let go of, okay, not let go of, but I think they practice their theology in the ones who do, because I actually checked and it's still a high number of Democrats or of actual Christians in the United States of America. I think it's about 50%. Let me double check. Yeah, so I'm just going to read you guys the list here. This is from pewforum.org. This is Religious Landscape Study of Party Affiliation. It goes with Buddhist. Buddhist is 16% Republican, 16% non-leading, 69% Democrat. Catholic is 37% Republican leaning, 19% non-lean, then 44% Democrat. So I'm going to be saying the first one I say is going to be Republican, the second one is none, the last one is going to be Democrat, so I don't have to keep repeating it. Evangelical Protestant is 56%, 16%, and then 28%. Hindu is 13%, 26%, and then 61%. Historically Black Protestant is 10%, then 10%, and then 80%. Jehovah's Witness, 7%, then 75%, then 18%. Jewish, 26%, and then 9%, and then 64%. Mainline Protestant, 44%, 16%, and then 40%. Mormon, 70%, then 11%, then 19%. Muslim, 17%, 21%, 81%. Orthodox Christian, 34%, 22%, 44%. Unaffiliated religious nuns is 23%, 22%, 54%. So you can see here, despite the trope that the Democrats are just heathens, there are a lot of people who do have various religious beliefs that do actually believe that way. Now, when it goes to actual belief in God by political party, it has a chart here that says 73% of Republicans who were in this test said they do believe in God and they're absolutely certain, when 62% of the non-leaning ones, and then for the Democrats, they said 55%. So when it comes to belief in God, somebody might be spiritual, might be religious, but not necessarily based off of a direct belief in God. So that might be something that changes it. But when it comes to that God, the features that are particularly held towards that God, I find a lot of Democrats do seem to hold the state, especially their idea of the democracy. I have faith in our democracy. If we just trust that democracy will find a way to do it. We just need more democracy, and that's going to happen. More of the Democratic Party equals more democracy. That's what they actually think of when they think of the state. It is more this godly, divine being with supernatural abilities. You see this in the specifics when they say certain things that are done by other political parties don't necessarily apply well, but if it's done by the Democratic Party, if it's done in the name of democracy, then all of a sudden that gets a different sheen on it. It's given a different look. It's not judged on the same level, on the same criteria that you judge human things on. When failures are shown to have something directly to do with some kind of process that they say is part of the democracy, they say it's just a mysterious thing that's happening. Oh, it was done because there wasn't enough of this. We just need more of that democracy in order to actually solve this situation. Just like, oh, we need more Jesus. We need more God. If we just had more democracy involved in the actual educating of children, then the children wouldn't be this bad. If we just had more democracy in the organizing and making things right in society, then it wouldn't be that violent. We wouldn't have all these inequalities. That's kind of how they think about this situation. Now, faith involves just having strong confidence in someone or something. There is the secondary definition when you're talking about it in the theological sense with a belief system in certain deities or religious practices that are not necessarily based on proof. So I'm thinking we should just get back to having more faith in actual things that can be proved. And there is one thing that's going to keep being hypocritical from certain sides. If you hold a belief in your God without the actual evidence, then it's going to be hard for you to say somebody else can't have their belief in their God, be it a deity that's 2,000 years old, or the democratic democracy idea that they have that the state represents. So that's going to happen. That's just a suggestion. Let's get back to things that can be proved. Let's get back to a system of laws that we can agree on, test and judge and see, is this right, is this wrong? Can this be fluctuated in this way? Can we go back to ways to just guarantee as much liberty as possible for everyone involved in different cultures and societies, and find better ways to do that that don't come from decrees from some sort of being on high that knows better than us and is not actually subject to those laws or testing as everybody else is. Okay, so that's it for now. Like, share, and subscribe. Has anybody else noticed this faith and democracy thing, or just faith, how some people treat politics as an article of faith? Why do you think they do that? How do you think it can change? Till next time, like, share, subscribe, and there should be links to a merchandise store somewhere here where I post different things. Some things offensive, some things not. You might like some things in there. You can help me out that way. Appreciate you taking your time. Goodbye.
Hapa hiyo ikitokea hiyo.